Hello and welcome to week 10 of K Club. Getting close to the end here. So today's topics are training and responsible conduct of research, bibliography and references cited, project summary, or otherwise known as the abstract, and the project narrative, and then homework. So we're covering a lot more this week in terms of research. So we're project summary, abstract, and project narrative, and training and responsible conduct of research. So we're finishing up the research block. And then the next few weeks, we've mostly got setting cover and getting ready to submit our RK. So I'm sure you all know what responsible means, but let's just go over that. So having an obligation to do something or having control over or care for someone as part of one's job or role, being the primary cause of something and so able to be blamed or credited for it, or of a job or position involving important duties, independent decision-making, or control over others. All of these three definitions relate to you being responsible for this grant and conducting this research. So you're going to write a one-page section or less explaining that you have training in responsible conduct of research. So this is the section where you show that you have taken classes, workshops, and/or online training on ethics related to human subjects research. If you haven't taken a research ethics class, you need to document that you will take one in your training plan. Explain when, where, and how many hours. You will be engaged in research ethics activities during the K99 phase. And you can be engaged in these activities with online city training, conferences and workshops, and/or a class. Why not all three? If you haven't taken an ethics class, you definitely have to during your K. And you can also get ethics refreshers or training from mentors. So how often and which ones? Maybe there'll be an ethics didactic related to whatever your topic that you're studying. So why does NIH require this section? They want to make sure that you can achieve your K99 and R00 research goals without violating subject privacy, confidentiality, and informed consent rules, having multiple adverse events that were within your control to start out with, and without losing subjects due to poor recruitment and retention. So they want you to be able to take responsibility and foresee any problems and not make excuses. Last but not least, losing data due to negligence. So you want to document prior city training in this section and when you completed it. Document any ethics or clinical trials courses you have taken and when. Describe your plan for doing more instruction during the grant years, covering all 5 of the following. Formats. You want to describe the required format of instruction. Will it be face-to-face lectures, coursework, or real-time discussion groups? And NIH does not accept a plan with only online instruction, so that's not acceptable. You have to have more than online instruction. So in terms of subject matter, describe the breadth of the subject matter. So conflict of interest, authorship, data management, human subjects and animal use, lab safety, research misconduct, research ethics. Describe faculty participation in your ethics training. So describe the role of your mentors and other faculty involvement in your instruction on ethics. Be clear about the duration of the instruction. So describe the number of contact hours of instruction, taking into consideration the duration of the program. Also give details about the frequency of instruction. If you're taking a class, is it 3 hours a week? Is it 1 hour a week? If you're taking a workshop, is it a 4-hour workshop? Is it an all-day workshop? And instruction must occur during each career stage and at least once every 4 years. So you want to document any prior instruction used during the applicant's current career stage, including the inclusive dates instruction was last completed. So essentially you want some ethics training in K99 and R00 phases of your grant. So we're going to go through an example. And and use this info to help you write your training in responsible conduct of research section. So let's say I took an ethics class. I'm going to document the info on the ethics class completed. So in my doctoral training program, the Oklahoma State University, I completed a semester-long course entitled Ethics and Professional Development. Then I list the course number. Then I'm going to explain the subject matter. This course covered topics including ethical considerations for teaching, mentorship, research, and clinical applications of psychology. Furthermore, the course included formal instruction on the American Psychological Association Ethics Code. Next, I'm going to talk about my city training that I completed online. So the format, beginning with undergraduate research assistantships starting in 2011, I have completed online annual training in the responsible conduct of research, collaborative institutional training initiative across my research positions, and then I list those positions. The info on the city training to be completed during the award period make it clear when you're going to complete this training. I will continue to complete this training annually for the duration of the award period. So 5 times during the K, you're going to complete this training. Then be clear about what subject matter is covered. So topics such as conflict of interest, research integrity, human subjects research, research misconduct, and HIPAA research privacy requirements. Next up, you want to cover faculty participation. So with regard to my proposed training plan, ethical consideration related to particular career development goals will be integrated into monthly didactic meetings led by my primary mentor and co-mentors. You want to make clear the frequency of the instruction and the format of this instruction. So you're going to say, in this example, we're saying 1 entire didactic meeting per year will be dedicated to ethical considerations specific to the particular didactic. So, for example, ethical considerations for experimental behavioral neuroimaging research, or ethical consideration of culturally informed research with American Indian communities. I will also attend workshop professional ethics in research and practice through the Oklahoma State University Department of Psychology, which is offered each fall. So this is another ethics workshop. And then the subject matter of that. So this workshop covers the following topics. I will also attend any trainings in responsible conduct of research offered by NIH-K awardees throughout the mentored phase of the proposal. Then you're going to summarize all of this. So as such, I will receive extensive training in responsible conduct of research across a wide range of topics relevant to clinical and cultural neuroscience, as well as psychological research more broadly, and in a variety of formats, listing all those different formats. This training will be a consistent feature of the career development plan, including my mentorship team, regional faculty, and associated members of this particular K Mosaic institutional awardees. Okay, were all 5 bases covered in this example? It would be good to add information about duration. So how many total hours was the ethics class in grad school? How many hours was city training? Are the didactic meetings hourly every month? How long is the workshop at OSU? Is it 1 day? Is it 4 hours? So make sure you cover duration as well as content and frequency. Now we're moving on to bibliography and references cited. Here is where you list any citations used in your grant. So particularly in your specific aims section, significance, innovation, approach, protection of human subjects from research risk, inclusion of women, minorities, and children in research, and any other sections that are relevant to your grant. So NIH doesn't require a specific citation format, so go with your favorite or whatever standard your primary mentor recommends. The use of that all in place of listing all the authors in a publication is acceptable practice. Remember to comply with NIH's public access policy, so you have to cite the PMC reference number or the PMC ID for each citation when applicable in your references section. And Information about PMC's IDs are available at the NCBI link below. And there's no page limit on your references. Hooray, because they might be pretty long. The next section we're going to tackle is narrative, and you'll be happy to know that the section is only 3 sentences long. But narrative relates to how your particular project is related to public health. So this section will be read by every reviewer as well as NIH staff assigning your application to a particular reviewer study section. So you want to make this project sound as important as possible to public health. How is your proposed study relevant to public health? It is recommended that you start out this section by saying explicitly, the proposed research is relevant to public health because. Also, how does your proposed study relate to the mission of the particular center that you're targeting for funding? So NIMH, NIDA, National Institute on Aging. You want to conclude with a sentence that relates either to NIH's mission or to the center at NIH that you're targeting for funding. The project is relevant to NIH's mission because. So you can be that explicit in terms of laying out your sentences. In the example I'm going to give, I don't really do that so much, but I still target NIH's mission and relation to public health. So first, relevance to public health. As of November 2016, recreational marijuana has been legalized in 11 of the 50 United States. And then I list all of them. As states continue to proceed with legalization, there is a crucial need to more fully understand the impact of recent as well as cumulative effects on marijuana use and decision-making function in young adults. So that's the public health 2 sentences. Now relevance to the center I'm applying for. In my case, NIDA. Research to further understand the impact of varying levels of marijuana and comorbid substance use could serve to inform future policy on what amount or duration of use is equated with impairment and could aid in the development of screening tools to target young adults for early intervention. 3 sentences, that's all this section requires. Next, we're going to move on to the project summary abstract. So this isn't as short, but it's still pretty short. So 30 lines of text or less for this section. This is the second most important section of your grant after specific aims. So I would say specific aims, abstract, narrative, potentially. This needs to be a standalone document, so readers need to understand everything in this section without reading anything else in your grant. And do not write this section in first person. This section, not allowed. So first you're going to describe the gap in knowledge, unmet need that will drive your project. So a lot of this is specific aims related that you can pull and reword. Next, you're going to copy and paste your specific aims and explain the primary methods and approaches that will be used to accomplish them. Then you're going to finish with a conclusion combining the project's significance, innovation, and generality regarding positive impact. So you have all of this information in other parts of your grant. You're just going to summarize all this stuff in 30 lines or less and make sure not to use first person, I or we. So you're going to, for homework, complete drafts of the following and send to your primary mentor. The training and responsible conduct of research section, project narrative, project summary, otherwise known as the abstract, and then work on formatting your bibliography and references cited section. Make sure that your citations are correct across documents. Revisit what outstanding sections still need feedback from your co-mentors and/or consultants, collaborators, or contributors. See you next week.